From records seized from the Odyssey Foundation Tuesday night, police compiled the names of 30 juveniles from 13 states who were allegedly procured as companions for older homosexual men known as sponsors. Youth Division Captain Benny Newman told me only 5 of the 30 juveniles are from Dallas, and those 5, he said, were not harmed as a result of their connection with the alleged procurement operation. I asked Captain Newman if police had identified any older Dallas men as sponsors.
I don't think we'll find very many local sponsors because there's no point in a local homosexual trying to get...
Police raided this apartment house on Cole Street last night and arrested 6 persons in connection with an alleged homosexual procurement ring based in San Diego, California.
We obviously will have to try to locate these various young men that have been procured as homosexual partners. We will have to try to locate these people and see where they are now. Some of these young men are
juvenile
under Texas statutes and probably under the statutes of most states.
Do you actually think that the investigation of my case has been done right?
I believe in your case that there should have been more focus on others, as there should have been others checked out alone.
As you know, I'm a bug about record keeping. All of my business records confirmed where I was, who I was with, what hotel I stayed at, what meals I ate. Everything was in the files. And all of those files on December 29th of 1978 were confiscated by the Des Plaines Police Department. And those files there alone could have proven that I wasn't in Illinois when 16 of these murders, when they finally set the dates as to when these murders occurred.
But, I mean, the point is if you feel that...
you're not covering up your part of the crimes, but at the same time you open up the thought that others were involved, would you be willing to cooperate with law enforcement people today to avail, say, the materials that you have amassed and to more or less pursue, if in fact there are others that are on the streets that have been involved in these murders, would you be willing to cooperate and to assist to pursue that to the ends of bringing others to justice? Would you be willing to do that?
I've got no qualms about that, but what I don't understand is why wasn't it done to begin with, Bob? They want you to believe that I and I alone committed these murders, and I had nothing to do with the murders of anyone.
If anybody was involved, then how many people are we talking about beside yourself?
We believe there was 4 people involved, and that would be Michael Rossi, David Cram, Philip Paskey. Here we've got a Philip Paskey who had a newsletter going out of the Cook County Jail. And here he is involved with a guy named John Norman. And John Norman was running Boys for Hire. They were making snuff films with young boys. To me, they were pimping them off. They were selling them. There was a crossover when we checked into John Norman's background that he goes all the way back to the early 70s and about hire young boys.
All right, so here's the Spark Notes. John Wayne Gacy, the killer clown serial killer with connections to the Secret Service that is friendly enough with Jimmy Carter's wife, Rosalind Carter, to take a picture with her while wearing a Secret Service badge, was running an underground snuff film pedo ring selling these tapes to Hollywood moguls and politicians. Once upon a time, there was a Rolodex of names that existed with over 100,000 names of buyers. This Rolodex was seized by the Secretary of State, Henry Kissinger, and those names would never be revealed. Unlike the Epstein files, this is an actual physical list with people who are involved in this very same crimes that we now know Epstein was involved in. I mean, hell, I would argue that there's sufficient evidence online for the average person to come to the conclusion that nearly every serial killer that has gotten mainstream attention in America is somehow, one way or another, involved in our corporately owned and funded genocidal government. I mean, not every serial killer, but it is a culture that has been developed over the years to even revere these kinds of sick people.